Let us begin with the opening recitations. O Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness. Be separated from suffering, I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. Thus, until I achieve Buddha, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I engage in virtuous deeds, body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. To the top of page 6. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. May all Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. Bajra samaja, bajra samaja, bajra samaja. Protectors of all sentient beings without exception, deities who vanquish the ruthless hordes of Maras, knowers of everything as it is, Bhagawans and your retinues, please come here. Argyam padyam pushpe dhupe aloke gende nivede shabda pratija soha. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain for continents, sun and moon I hold in mind as a Buddha land and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure realm. Whatever slight virtue that may have been gathered through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and beseeching, I now dedicate to complete Bodhi. So for today, we're going to go straight to the Mahamudra manual. The Mahamudra manual that we are anchoring our daily practice is called the Jewel Garland. This was composed in the 14th century by Jenga Choki Gyalpo, one of the throne holders of the Drikung Kagyu, the 11th throne holder of Drikung Kagyu. So we are going to begin with a guided meditation, starting on page 3. Actually, let's go back even further. Page 3 would be good. So you don't need to read. I am going to read, and then you follow the instructions given from this manual. Just so you know what we're doing, basically, according to this manual, the two important preparatory practices in order to practice the Fivefold Mahamudra is to always ground the practice in the two preliminaries of clearing obscurations through Vajrasattva practice and accumulating the accumulations of merit and wisdom through the offering of mandala. First, in a secluded place, sit on a comfortable cushion in Vajra posture. So you can sit full lotus if you are able to, or half lotus if you are not able to, or even just sit in a comfortable way on a chair, relaxed, at ease. Straighten the spine, elongate your body slightly at the beginning. Maybe imagine that maybe you can think like the top of your head, there's a string tied, and like a puppet, someone pulls that string up, and your whole body straightens upwards. And then relax. Do this a few times. It will help naturally straighten the posture and also relax. Especially in Mahamudra practice, the ability to be loosely at ease while still holding presence of mind, relaxing body, and then having presence of mind, established, stabilized. Place both your hands in the gesture of meditative equipoise, holding them below your navel. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Let the tongues lightly touch the upper palate. Leave your teeth and lips in their natural position, and let breath flow comfortably. Inhale and exhale in a relaxed manner, little by little, free from effort. The breath exhales and inhales just as it is. Doing this is to be in the Vajas, in the Bodhisattva posture. Then recall the reminders we have of how difficult it is to obtain the freedoms and advantages. And now every one of us, if we are doing this practice now, we have gained freedoms from the 8 states of existence that would otherwise make Dharma practice very difficult, if not impossible. As well as we have amassed, we have brought together the 10 advantages. And so with such freedoms and advantages in hand, if we squander our life away, getting caught up again and again in that which cannot deliver the happiness that we're looking for, then what a waste. So rejoice in the fact that we have gained the freedoms and advantages. What a rare opportunity we have now. Then recall that impermanence and death is always following us like a shadow. And therefore, we should not waste our time fighting with, contending with the world, which is completely useless. Instead, we should direct our attention to careful observation of the principle of karmic cause and effect, and reflect on the faults of samsaric existence, as long as we are existing in a confused way. There is no escape from the suffering that arises from confusion. So from the mother of the victorious ones, the Paññāparamita Sutras, it is said, friends, to become a human is rare, and to gain the perfect state of leisure is even rarer. Liberation from samsara is extremely rare. So, since it is so, do not waste your efforts on useless things, for later you will surely be filled with regret. Who knows if death will come as soon as tomorrow? Therefore, one must apply oneself this very day. For with that great commander, the Lord of Death, we have no treaty of friendship. Thus the Buddha taught in the Sutra of Auspicious Signs. So to become liberated from the sufferings of samsara, we should generate the following motivation. With palms together, we go for refuge in the 3 jewels and will now practice the meditation and recitation of Bhagavan Vajrasattva. Now hands back together in the meditation posture. Understand that Bhagavan Vajrasattva in essence is our Guru, the pristine nature of our mind. And we will rely on this Guru Vajrasattva to remove all the obscurations, particularly those obscurations that will obscure our ability to really practice and experience what is taught in this Mahamudra manual. By relying on the four powers, the power of regret, the power of refuge, in this case, Guru Vajrasattva, the power of remedy, the recitation and meditation of the cleansing of the 100-syllable mantra, and resolve not to repeat our mistaken and confused behavior of body, speech, and mind again, and not to violate our bodhicitta vow, and not to break our vajra samayas, making that resolve. Then instantaneously you are in the form of your idam, whatever the idam may be, whether it's Tara or Manjushri or even Vajrasattva, and just feel that yourself is in the form of idam. Above your head on the full moon disk is a hung marked with is a hung inside of Vajra, white and luminous in color, which instantly transform into Bhagavan Vajrasattva. His exalted body is white like the peak of a snow mountain, touched by the rays of the sun. His legs are crossed. With his two hands, the right holds a Vajra at his heart, and the left holds a bell resting on his hip. He is adorned with various jewel ornaments. At the center of his heart, in the middle of a moon disk, white in color, is a hung syllable surrounded by the 100-syllable mantras in a circle. From this hung, now see light emanating, going out, clearing the obscurations of all sentient beings. Furthermore, from this hung, light goes out to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, invoking from their hearts streams of elixir that flow into, that shoot back into this hung syllable. And from there, a stream of nectar, a stream of elixir descends downwards, flows through the body of Guru Vajrasattva, emerging from the tip of Guru Vajrasattva's right toe, and that toe is pointed right above the small opening that is at the top of our head. And from there see a waterfall of nectar, of elixir cascading down, entering into our body through the crown, and all the collections of misdeeds, obscurations, and transgressions from beginningless samsaric lifetimes are flushed out, are washed away, like dirt flushed out by water. And they exit from the 2 lower orifices of your body. The stream of elixir fills you from below, swirling upwards. As this elixir overflows from Guru Vajrasattva's body, Buddha Akshobhya appears and sits above on the crown of Guru Vajrasattva. And that is the Guru's Guru. Then focusing on the hung surrounded by the mantra at the heart of Bhagavan Guru Vajrasattva, we recite the mantra, the 100-syllable mantra. As we recite that, continuously feel this waterfall of elixir cascading down on us, completely clearing everything, flushing out all the obscurations, illness, hidden illnesses that we don't know, problems that may arise. Let them clear out now. Let them leave now. And it can happen if we are willing to lay aside, to put aside these obscurations. In order to put aside, to lay aside, we have to expose them first, not hide them, not kid yourself, not fool yourself, but to openly admit and see them. Om Vajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Vasudogaya Memo Vasubogaya Memo Andurata Memo Vasavasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Janam Jananguru Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Om Vajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Vasudogaya Mesubogaya Memo Andurata Memo Vasavasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Om Ha Samaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Vasubogaya Memo Andurata Memo Vasavasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Om Ha Samaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Vasubogaya Memo Andurata Memo Vasavasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Om Ha Samaya Sado Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Vasubogaya Memo Andurata Memo Vasavasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Om Ha Samaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Subogaya Memo Anurata Memo Savasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Om Ha Samaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Subogaya Memo Anurata Memo Savasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Om Ha Samaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Subogaya Memo Anurata Memo Savasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Mahasamaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Anubalaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Subogaya Memo Anurata Memo Savasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Mahasamaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Subogaya Memo Anurata Memo Savasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Subogaya Memo Anurata Memo Savasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Tadangata Basama Vijamajam Om Ha Samaya Sado Om Bhajra Sada Samaya Manu Balaya Basa Sada Deno Patita Deno Memo Sudogaya Memo Anurata Memo Savasidi Memo Jasavakama Sujame Chidam Sriyam Guru Hong Hao Bhagavan Samadana Kata Basama Vijamajam Maha Samaya Sado Now, at the end of the session, we pray to Guru Vajrasattva with the following words, starting on the page 8, at the top of page 8. And this is the main Mahamudra manual, page 8. I am ignorant and bewildered. I have transgressed and broken my samhayas. O Guru Protector, grant me refuge. Guru Vajrasattva grants his assent. You should then have faith that he responds with, he says to us now, child of a noble family, your broken samayas, negativities, and obscurations are cleared now. Finally, the Bhagavan dissolves into you, becoming inseparable from your own body, speech, and mind. You then rest in meditative equipoise on the meaning of the union of the inseparability of appearance and emptiness. So all appearances appear vividly. They appear vividly because the mind has the characteristic, have the property of being knowing. Mind has knowing awareness, but mind is also empty of essence. Appearing clearly, vividly, but without essence and yet appearing clearly, vividly. Now on page 9 is the second part, perfecting the accumulations through mandala offering. As I was explaining yesterday and the day before, so for this, if you want to do like it's described in this text here, then 2 mandala plates would be ideal. But there's also instructions on how, if you don't have 2 mandala plates, then 1 is fine. So whether you have 1 or you have 2, first you establish the mandala of accomplishment. The mandala of accomplishment is basically referring to the mandala that represents, that bring into your presence the who we are offering mandala to. So we are offering mandala to those who have accomplished liberation for the benefit of all beings already. And so these are the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly the Guru, and then in front, Idam, and then to the right of the Guru, all the Buddhas of past, present, and future. Behind are all the sutras, the tantras, all the texts, all the teachings, and then the noble sangha. So this is 5 heaps establishing the accomplishment mandala. Then this accomplishment mandala you place in front of you. Then with the offering mandala, we create the 7 heaps, which is Mount Meru with the 4 continents, sun and moon. And then on this basic mandala with the 7 features, think all the wealth and riches and possessions, particularly those things that we know we are especially attached to, we should place on this mandala offering and offer to the objects of refuge. And so page 9 is the beginning with the establishment of the accomplishment mandala. So what is not mentioned in the instructions here is first to clean the mandala surface with first sprinkling some saffron water, and then reciting the Vajrasattva mantra as we clean the mandala. Basically with this part of your arm. Also, when you hold the mandala, you want to take some of the offering grains that you are doing the mandala offering with, hold your left hand with some grains so that it's not an empty hand. Likewise, the right hand, you should take a few grains and hold, like even like on the tips like this, take a few grains, hold as you clean. So then both hands have some offering and not just empty. If your mandala has design on the side, try and see if you can find the wheel, the Dharma chakra. Usually it's 8 auspicious symbols, and if you can find the Dhamma chakra, then Dhamma chakra should be pointing towards you, facing towards you. Om Bhadra Sada Samaya Madhupalaya Basara Tatino Badita Tenema Sudaka Mama Subaka Mamandra Dhamma Sabasira Media Savakama Sujamajam Janguruma Bhagavan Savadaka Besam Jabazima Mahasamaya Sadhu. And you think that all the obscurations of sentient beings, including yourself, karmic obscurations, the obscurations of kleshas, and then the most subtle obscurations are all cleaned, or all cleared. So on page 10, Om Bhadra Bhumi Ahum. So you see this ground as Vajra ground. And then it says, in the center, place one pao. And with that, you think the Guru Vajradhara is present now in the central pao. Guru Vajradhara is present in the central pao. When you wet the rice, then it stays together. They stay together better, so that you can actually create a pao without too much difficulties. Then the next pao is establishing, inviting the idam to be in the pao in front of the first heap, the first pao. The third is the heap for the Buddhas to become present now. And the fourth is the Dharma, and the heap behind the Guru. And the fourth is the noble Sangha. And in this way, right, all 5 paos are complete. And this is the mandala of accomplishment, which then you place in front. Then on page 11 is the second mandala. So you still have grains on your left hand, and you're holding now the second mandala. Cannot exactly find it. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. If you can find it, the wheel should be towards you. So second mandala, again sprinkled with water, and taking a few grains with the right hand like this, then Om Bhadra Sato Samaya Manubalaya Anuradam Vaza was in here, think, with the first heap, you offer Mount Meru. With the second heap, you offer the eastern continent called Videha. This is on page 11. Then the southern continent, Jambudvipa. Then the western continent, Godaniya. And the northern continent, Kuru, or Uttara Kuru. These are shortened names, Uttara Kuru. So Appara Godaniya is the longer name. So these are the, then sun is in between Meru and the eastern continent, and moon is between the Meru in the middle and the western continent. And then it says, it's filled to overflowing with the glorious and perfect riches of gods and humans. And then you put more. Imagine inconceivable clouds of offerings arising from the complete liberation, like it is in the complete liberation account of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, which is an account of how extensive offerings that Samantabhadra Bodhisattva made, just using the power of his mind. He emanated all these offerings in the same way. Think that all these offerings are emanated from the mind and placed onto this mandala. And with that, we offer with the words starting from page 11. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land, and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, idam deities, and you, noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. O Gurus, idams, and noble three jewels, I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. Go back to page 11 at the bottom. One thing. Even I now forgot. After you have built it, before you offer, turn clockwise this mandala so that the eastern direction is now pointed towards the recipients. So you do turn 180 degrees, so that is facing the eastern continent. Now is closest to who we're offering to. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, idam deities, and you, noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. O Gurus, Idams, and Noble Three Jewels, I pray that you generate supreme realizations within me. Back to page 11 at the bottom again. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, fog, continent, sun, and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime Gurus, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, Idam deities, and you, noble Three Jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them, O Gurus, Idams, and noble Three Jewels. I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. So actually, so there are a number of ways you could do this. You could, each time you make one of these offerings with these 3 recitations, you can sweep all the offerings down and again build the 7. If not, you can each time add a little bit and leave what's basically constructed here, and then add a little bit more for each recitation. Now, however number of recitations of number of offerings that you have time to do, motivated to do, inspired to do, now you first the offering mandala, now you sweep towards you. Think that you're receiving blessings from this offering. And then next, the objects of refuge, the accomplishment mandala, you also sweep towards you. This time you think the objects of offerings, the accomplishment mandala in the space in front, completely dissolve into you. And they and you have become inseparable. And then again, rest, meditate, cultivate this confidence that you and the objects of offering have become inseparable. Think that you will always have the Guru, Idam, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha in your heart. And as a result of that, all the Dharmapalas are your constant companions surrounding you, no matter where you are, where you go, what you're doing. You can think of the Dharmapalas, the Dakinis, as your companions around you. And Guru, Buddha, Idam, Dharma, Sangha, Noble Sangha, reside in your heart. Always cultivate remembering them. Feel their blessings, their presence in your heart. Then now the second part. This is beginning of the Fivefold Mahamudra. As you, I hope you know, the fivefold, what is the five that is folded together, that is integrated together, is Bodhicitta, Idam, Guru, devotion, natural state Mahamudra, and dedication. These are the five. So the first of the five is cultivating bodhicitta. So here on page 14, the second part is special preliminary. So bodhicitta, cultivating bodhicitta, is called the special preliminary. So the special preliminary has three sections: cultivating loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. So sometimes this is referred as the three minds. So cultivating these three minds. As the precious Lord, as our precious Lord said, as Gilbert Rinpoche said, if the steed, this strong horse, if the steed of love and compassion does not run for the benefit of others, it will not be rewarded by gods or humans. Attend earnestly, therefore, to this foundational attitude. This is actually the first verse in the very famous song of the 5 verses of the Fivefold Mahamudra. And the other verses are in this text, at the beginning of each of the sections. And so this one uses the imagery of horse racing, which is a favorite pastime for Tibetans. So using the analogy, the imagery of a horse race, so if this horse, this steed doesn't run for the benefit of others. And what is this horse? This horse is love and compassion. And so we have to cultivate love and compassion first for ourselves, meaning we have to first feel this, right? Knowing what this is. Because if we don't know what this is, how do you radiate this to others? And so you begin first to identify what is love, what is compassion. Even though we use these words, love, compassion, it may not be those qualities that the Buddha is pointing to. So first, we identify what is this love, what is this compassion, that are the ingredients necessary for bodhicitta. So first we identify. Then we need this horse now to run for the benefit of others. And if they don't run for the benefit of others, then they will not win this race, which is this point about rewarded by gods and humans. And so therefore, attend earnestly, earnestly take care of this foundational attitude, this ground motivation that we need to have. So the first part is to cultivate metta, or loving kindness, or in Sanskrit, maitri. In Tibetan, in Dharma language, it's called jamba. Jamba. So jamba has 4 parts, now on page 14. The cause for generating jamba, the essence of jamba, the enhancement of jamba, and the function of jamba. Page 14. So page 15, first, the cause. So first, what is the cause? How can we identify this which causes jamba to arise? It arises from remembering the kindness of maybe one's parents, or one's abbots, or teachers, and so on. So we begin first with whoever, is that we feel gratitude towards. We begin with whoever we feel gratitude towards. The traditional instructions always starts with your parents of this lifetime. But don't let that become an obstacle. Maybe it's more of a US obstacle. I don't know why every time I teach this, some kind of strange karma. And every time without fail, I teach this. People stumble here, and mostly, it seems, is people living in the US. Not sure what it's all about, but it's okay. Right? Even Gilbert here says, anyone. So this text lists out for the audience what is quite easily for people to feel. In other words, to feel gratitude towards your parents, your abbots, your teachers, and so on. So thank goodness there is and so on. So you choose whoever that so on is. If these first three groups you have problems with, I think we have problems with authority figures. Then we expect authority figures to be like God. It turns out they are not God, and so we are disappointed. So then we are unhappy with them. So whoever you have experienced kindness from, they are then used as the cause here for training in Chamba. Of course, eventually Chamba needs to radiate to all, regardless of close and distant, and those who have directly benefited us, have been kind to us, and even those who are unkind to us. We have to radiate Chamba to them. Here it says, among all of these, do remember that the kindness of one's parents is greatest. How great is their kindness? They have given food as vast as Mount Meru, clothed us in garments as plentiful as the southern clouds. And the clouds come from the south. In Tibet, the rain clouds come from the southern direction. So really beautiful imagery. And given milk as vast as the ocean. And they have given us food piled up the size of Mount Meru. Not just parents of this lifetime, but parents of all lifetimes. How vast their kindness. They have given us food as much as Mount Meru. They have clothed us, given us clothes, garments as plentiful as southern clouds, and milk as vast as the oceans. They have wiped away all that was wet. We cannot even clean ourselves, for the first few years of our lives. And so who has done that for us? Our parents. And moisten all that was dry as well. Remembering such kindness is the cause for giving rise the mind of loving kindness. So first recognize kindness. Maybe kindness of grandparents, kindness of our teachers, kindness of strangers. So that's the cause of giving rise to this mind of loving kindness. Elsewhere, then the essence of loving kindness. So this is identifying. And what are we talking about when we say loving kindness or Chamba? Here it says, as it is said, loving kindness, Chamba, arises upon seeing a cherished child. And so a little one that you cherish, a little one that you feel, sometimes it's just strangers, little ones. Sometimes it's your little ones. Sometimes it's your brothers or sisters' little ones. And these little ones can also be, pets, little ones. So the feeling that arises when we watch the little ones play, that warm feeling that just arises. If we want to add some words to it, we say the warm feelings that come up, we become first, we are so happy to see them play, because we see that they are so happy. And then we also become happy temporarily. We don't need think of much other things. Then we also wish them to continue to play happily. So it says this is the feeling. So this is identifying. What is this jamba? What is this maitri? Is this. Therefore, the vivid jamba for those who have shown great kindness. Therefore, the vivid jamba for those who have shown us great kindness, such that you cannot bear to be apart from them, that is the essence of jamba. Third, the enhancement of jamba has two parts: cultivating jamba based on one's present mother, and then extending that to all sentient beings. First, as mentioned above, through remembering her kindness, single-pointedly cultivate jamba for your mother. By cultivating in this way again and again, a heartfelt love for your kind mother will arise, such that you do not wish to be separated from her. Page 17, next, extending this to all sentient beings. The loving kindness that arose for your present mother, expand it now further and further. Cultivate it towards all sentient beings in the eastern direction. If this does not arise for them easily, again cultivate and go back to cultivating jamba for your present mother. Again, even Gilbert Rinpoche himself, somewhere he actually addresses this, So having complicated feelings towards our mothers is not exclusive to us, because in one instruction on jamba, more detailed instructions on jamba, Gilbert Rinpoche has quite a few texts on this topic. In another text, he said, due to the karmic situation of sentient beings, there are instances where it's very difficult to begin this practice with one's own mother. He said, in that case, basically choose someone that is easy for you to have this kind of feeling towards. In one text, he even says, and he said this, and he said, please don't indiscriminately tell this to others, because it will cause wrong understanding. And the instruction here is, he says, you can even choose someone that you are fond of, a companion, he says. But he says some people may misunderstand and think that I'm encouraging you to kind of have samsaric entanglements. He says, no, the thing is, for this, you need to find someone, a cause, the main person that you can very easily have this feeling of jamba towards. And jamba, as described, at the point that almost like have a little bit of attachment, a little bit of entanglement in that sense, like you don't want to be separated from them. He says, you are allowed to do that if you understand what is the purpose. Then the purpose is just first step, because second step, you extend. And you have to extend even to the degree of those that you don't so easily have feelings of jamba towards. And this is a profound way of arriving at what we call non-dual understanding. Is the power of jamba if we know how to train with Champa, the power of Champa can lead us to a realization of the no difference between self and other. The wall between self and other collapses when we are able to radiate Champa without any distinction in all directions. So on page 17, cultivate this Champa towards all sentient beings, first in the eastern direction. And if it does not arise for them easily, then again go back to cultivating Champa for your present mother. Then with the Champa that arose for your mother, as before, cultivate with great intensity towards all sentient beings, again towards the eastern direction. Eastern meaning in front. In front. Then cultivate Champa in the same way to those in the south, meaning this way. West, that way. North, that way. Southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast. So this is the directionality here is just oriented towards you. East is here. So in these directions, you radiate this Champa towards them. And above and below. Again, the Champa that arose for your mother, consider all sentient beings as vast as space before you and cultivate by expanding that Champa to pervade all of them. This is like a force field that you're building, and it's expanding and expanding. You are embracing all beings into this force field of Champa. If it does not arise just by extending it, again go back to cultivating Champa towards that one person that you can very easily feel Champa towards. And then again, try to extend. Don't try too hard. Just let it be more natural. Think of it as really, like it's radiating. You're glowing brighter and brighter and brighter. Give a color to your Champa. Whatever your favorite color is, whatever you associate Champa with, let it be color. Then this color, your body, right? Your body begins to radiate this color. The body you should try to keep the body as idam, even though in the next part of Mahamudra, Fivefold Mahamudra, you explicitly cultivate idam. But here, you can just remain as idam if you can. No need very complex visualization, but the confidence of idam. That makes it easier to allow you to feel Champa actually radiating. And the fourth, at the top of page 18, fourth, the function of Champa. The function of Champa is to prevent all unfavorable conditions and obstacles from arising. Meaning all oppositions that come up in our lives can be overcome by Champa. All difficulties, all challenges, people not liking you, things not working out for you. Even Dharma practice, sometimes you may feel, the center people don't like me, the teacher don't like me, the Khenpo don't like me, the Drupal don't like me. It's our baggage, our jealousy, our confusion. And then we project. Overcome all of that by cultivating Champa. So then he says here, ultimately, even after attaining Buddhahood. So before attaining Buddhahood, we are always like kind of at the mercy of what we call obstacles and unfavorable conditions. But here it says, even after attaining state of Buddha, Jamba functions to defeat all the forces of the hordes of Maras. Meaning even Buddhists will use Jamba to defeat the Maras, the demons. And that is the ultimate protection. Jamba. So this is the first part of the bodhicitta section of the Fivefold Mahamudra. So please, today, try to radiate this kindness. You may not have time, right, to sit down and radiate between today and tomorrow. Tomorrow we will do this meditation. Tomorrow meaning Monday, yeah? Not Saturday. Because we only do Monday to Friday. So over the weekend, so now we have some time, cultivate this Jamba. First step of cultivating Jamba, even though the instructions is given in first, think of who can cause Jamba to arise in you. Then secondly, and what is this thing called Jamba, right? So that's the second, right? Then third, enhancing it by now radiating towards that one person. And then the fourth step is, or from there, the third step, B, A is radiating towards one person, B, radiating towards all persons. Right? So it's given like this. And then the fourth point is just knowing what is the function. So you can begin with paying attention to Jamba in the world. So maybe not even beginning with yourself, but begin by paying attention to Jamba happening in the world. Kindness happening in the world. And not in the world in the abstract, but as you go about your life, pay attention. See especially little unassuming acts of kindness that people do to each other. The news and all these things don't focus on this, because they are adding, not because they are evil, okay? Also don't think of it that way. It's just our afflictive emotions are such that we are attracted to afflictive emotions even though we don't want it. We so habitually get dragged around by afflictive emotions. And so that is what sells. So for the most part, everything you see on your phone is to feed that fire. Not because, even that people are evil, but people are confused. The business of the world is confused. Don't get sucked in more and more and more and more. Choose wisely. So this, choose to focus on how to grow kindness. And to do that, first have to recognize, have to see, oh there, oh there, oh there, oh there. Even someone smiling at another person, that is a manifestation of Jamba. That we want to recognize and go, that is Jamba. Then feel it. Then you can radiate quite naturally. Yeah, so today we're going to end here. Let's do the dedication. Go back to that very first text that we always begin with, now on page 31. It may be 31, it may be 30, or 32. But basically the dedication that begins with, by the virtues. by the virtues collected in the 3 times by me and the entirety of samsara and nirvana, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Bodhi. By the blessings of the truth of the Kagyu Gurus, the excellent 3 Idams Dakinis, Dharmapalas, may the spiritual and temporal places of the tradition of the second Nagarjuna flourish. Whatever harmful, discordant faults may arise, may they be pacified, and may there be abundant prosperity and happiness. May the teachings of the great Trikungparana Shri, the all-knowing Dharma Lord, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara by the power of the virtues collected in accordance with the teachings of the pure realization of the unmistaken teacher. May the teachings of Ranashri of Trigung, the protector on the 10th Bhumi, flourish perpetually. This last line, the protector on the 10th Bhumi, yeah, I think actually more and more, I think that it should be translated as the protector of the 10 Bhumis. The protector of the 10 Bhumis. That means all Bhumis, from 1 to 10, he protects them. Rather than he is the protector on the 10th Bhumi. But he, here, Gyalpa Rinpoche, and Gyalpa Jigten Sungmen, is the protector for all those bodhisattvas from the 1st to the 10th Bhumis. I think that's a more accurate translation. Just take note like that, even though the words says this, understand it as he is the one that protects all those on the Bhumis. Okay, now have a good weekend. Bye-bye, Tata. Then we hope to see each other on Monday morning. Same time, same place.
Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Bye-bye, all.
Gracias.
Thank you, Dr. Lai.
Thank you, Guru. Bye-bye.
Gracias, Rinpoche. Thank you, Dr. Lai.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.